I'm making this video to help you deliver your message. If video is done well, then the message is clear. If not, most viewers will simply discard it and move on to someone else's message. Unfortunately, your message may be important, and if your video is not done well, then most viewers will simply not pay attention to it. They will change the channel and listen to someone else's message. And remember, in video, you only have 20 seconds to retain your audience before they lose interest and go somewhere else. Most especially in church video, you have an important message, and you want to communicate it effectively through the media of video. You want to engage your audience and allow them to become part of what you're trying to tell them. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to effectively communicate using video and how to do it for an investment of less than $500. I'm going to use direct step-by-step methods that will show you how to immediately start producing broadcast quality video. First, let's talk about cameras. Modern consumer television cameras have greatly improved within the last 5 years, blurring the lines between consumer and broadcast. Of course, a $250 consumer TV camera is not going to be as good as the $30,000 broadcast camera. However, by following certain procedures, the consumer camera can be made to look almost as good as the broadcast camera. Of course, the better camcorder you use, the better results you will have. Still, many TV producers make fantastic videos using inexpensive camcorders or HD-capable digital SLR cameras. I'm not saying that you will have the same results as with a $30,000 broadcast camera. I'm just saying you can take an inexpensive camera and still use it to effectively deliver your message. The camera I'm using now only costs $250, and I'm doing this to show that with a $250 camera you can do quality video. In my opinion, the minimum camera requirements are a microphone terminal with a microphone input, a television system that is NTSC in the United States, a video recording system that is MPEG-4-AVC/H.264, recording media in an SDHC memory card, and effective video pixels of 1.56 or more. One of the most important requirements for any television camera is a microphone input. Many videos on YouTube, Metacafe, and Vimeo have excellent video, but the program is terrible because of the cheap internal microphone that the camcorder has. If you don't have an external microphone input, forget about doing quality video. In order to fulfill the minimum requirements, I selected the Canon Vixia HF-R100. It only costs $249. A SanDisk 8GB Class II flash memory card, which was $6.99. And then a Zycos Professional tripod that was 72 inches tall and only cost $25.99. All of this could be purchased through Amazon.com or B&H Photo Video. This camera is the one used for the demonstration videos and is the least expensive with a microphone input. It has features found in more expensive cameras, including manual iris and manual mic level with mic level monitoring. I suggest you use the Cine mode when shooting inside. Remember to light your scene well. Canon and Sony make many great camcorders. For microphones, I suggest a Shure Ornati dynamic handheld microphone for $15.99. An Audio-Technica ATR35S lavalier microphone is only $23.99. For microphone wire, I suggest one that's also an adapter, in that it will take the standard series XLR jack to a stereo 3.5 mini plug to go into your camcorder. It's 25 feet long and costs $15.99 at Amazon.com. Remember to not hang heavy adapters off the camcorder's microphone input. For microphone stands, I recommend the New Era floor mic stand, $18, which is a really good price for a mic stand. All of these things can be found at Amazon.com or MusicianFriends.com. For lighting, the minimum recommendation is a Cowboy Studio New Photography Video Studio Umbrella Continuous Lighting Light Stand Kit with a set of 2 7-foot stands and 1 mini stand and a carry case for only $68 at Amazon.com. Now, video editing software is something a lot of people have a lot of opinions on. There are many really good video editing software. For the beginner, I strongly recommend the Sony Vegas Movie Studio HD9, which only costs $39. The HD10 and the Vegas Pro are very good as well. The HD11 is still new and has some things that need to be repaired on it before I would recommend it. If you have a PC, I recommend you use Vegas, but you can also use Adobe Premiere. Avid editing systems are too complicated and problematic for all but the high-end production users. On a Mac, Final Cut Pro is the most popular editing program used by many TV producers, and there's a good reason for that. All that said, Vegas is the easiest to learn. It's dependable and comes bundled with a great DVD creation software called DVD Architect Studio. Unfortunately, this only works on a PC. Using all these suggestions, you can get into video production for around $450. Let's talk about lighting. Basically, whatever you are shooting must be well lit in order to have a good video. Setting up lights where shadows are eliminated is a good idea. That's why shooting outside on an overcast day looks better than on a sunny day. The simplest form of video lighting used is three-point lighting. The 3 lights used in a three-point lighting system are key, fill, and backlight. The key light provides most of the illumination for the face of the person, or what we call the talent, being videoed. Usually the key light is 6 to 15 feet from the talent's left side. The fill light is mounted on the right side of the talent and removes the shadows created by the key light. The backlight is high above the talent to the back, and it produces a definition or edge to the back of the talent's head. Now let's watch this three-point lighting video.
Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use 3 lights to create 3 different lighting effects. For example, how you can do this one, which is the classic 3-point lighting system. Or get that modern pure white background look. Or maybe even some real moody film noir type lighting. So let's start with the classic 3-point lighting. Now you'll see this lighting used in videos all the time, particularly when they're interviewing a person. It's exactly the same as we saw right at the beginning of this video. Now 3-point lighting, as the name suggests, requires 1, 2, 3 lights. And we're using the Super Softbox kit from Mikensu, which is a brilliant kit for this because it gives continuous lighting, flicker-free, and being low-energy lights as well, they're not hot for your subject. So let's start with our main light here. This is called the key light. It's the most important light because it's the one that's going to light your model. And for this one, I'm going to use all 4 bulbs that this lamp has. It's the brightest lamp of our set. Now the other side is the fill light. This is going to fill in the shadows that are going to be caused by that light, and we don't want it quite as bright, so this is going to have half brightness, so 2 lamps on. Finally, we've got one just above my head. That's called the hair light. You can guess what that does, I guess, by the name really. Exactly, it's going to light my hair. But not only my hair, but also my shoulders. And it's that little light there that really makes this 3-point lighting system look so good. Well, that's the theory, but let's see how these lights actually work individually with a proper background. So the lights are all set up. Let's have a look at the lights one by one. At the moment, there's only this one on my left-hand side, the main key light that's turned on. Hence you're seeing this rather harsh lighting. Now this is kind of moody, rather stylish, but it's not the look we're going for today. Now that's around about 45 degrees, about 1.5 meters from me, well out of shot. Now the trouble with this is I'm getting great lighting on this side, but I'm getting lousy dark lighting on the other side. So to get rid of those heavy shadows, we're going to add the second light, which is the fill light. And that is just going to fill the light from the right hand side. It's going to fill the shadows and give much more even lighting. But it's not completely even. There is a difference between the two. Because that light is only half the power of our main light, you're finding that it will still get a little bit of darkness down one side. Now that just leaves one last light, just above my head there, just out of shot, and that's the hair light. Now at the moment my hair is kind of disappearing into the background a little bit, and my shoulders, well, they're there but they're not that clear. Turn on the hair light, however, and things change a little bit. Now we're getting a much more defined top to my head. It's not great hair, but it's there nonetheless, and my shoulders, the tops here, are now much better defined against the pure black background. Now we've got a pure black background there because it really does show how this 3-point lighting system really works. But you can do this with any background you like. But if you want to do this with a white background, well, the setup's just a little bit different. Let's have a look at that setup. Okay, so this time we've got the light set rather differently. Now we've got our two big lights that were our key light and our fill light. They're now behind me, and they're there just to light the white background. Now they're both set to full power and they're both pointing at the white background. Our little boom light here is now our main light, our key light, as it's actually lighting the subject, me. So that's again on full brightness. But because it's a single overhead lamp, it is a little bit contrasty. There's a lot of downlight going on, so you're going to get some shadows underneath the chins. So it's worth investing in one of these. Now this is just a small reflector. You can get this from the SMIC website. And if you place this just out of shot, but just underneath your subject, and angle it up underneath their chins, just like that, that will fill the light just underneath them and gives again a much more flattering light. Okay, so there we go. There's how you can do a white background using the same 3 light kits. Let's do one more. Let's go a little bit more moody, maybe a bit more film noir. Okay, so for the final lighting setup, we're going to go with that film noir look. Now, this looks great in black and white, but what we've got here is the same 3 lights, just set slightly differently. Okay, well, let's start with our key light. Our key light is the one that's lighting me, and in fact, it's the main light right here in front of me. Now, I've got this turned down to half power, so it's not the brightest setting I can have it on. The brightest lamp is actually right at the back there. That is just illuminating the background. But because our background is pure black, or nearly pure black, having a little bit of light on there just lifts it to a bit of grey. And because I've got the light pushed right hard up against the background, it's giving some raking light across the background to really emphasise any texture that might be there at all. The third light is actually still above my head. It's the hair light, but this time it's placed further behind me and angled towards the camera. And that gives a little bit of rim lighting just around the back. Again, it's on its lowest possible setting, so just one single bulb illuminated. Now that looks pretty good, but do watch out for lens flare with this setup. Okay, so there we go. There's how you can set up film noir lighting, but of course no film noir would be correct without a suitable hat. And I have just the right hat for the occasion. That looks pretty good. Okay, so there we are. There's how you can use 3 lights to create 3 completely different lighting effects. For more information about the Super Softbox 3 light kit, check out the SMIC website at www.smic.co.uk. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.
Now the camera. Usually, in a one-camera shoot, the camera is directly in front of the talent. In multi-camera shoots, other cameras are set up for wide shots, audience shots, or artistic shots. Remember to always keep the camera on the center of interest. It's a good idea to have the camera level and at the same level as the talent you are shooting. Deploy the tripod, level it, and set the correct height for the talent. All tripods come with a plate that screws to the bottom of your camera. Be careful not to lose this plate. Also, the tripod head has a lock and drag control. Be sure to unlock the lock controls before trying to pan and tilt the camera. About microphone setup. Depending on the situation, you will use a handheld or lavalier microphone. Your camcorder will not supply phantom power, so dynamic microphones or microphones that have internal batteries must be used. Often, when shooting church videos, I place a dynamic microphone on a stand near a PA speaker. This allows us to get clear audio along with room tone, while not overdriving the audio input of the camera. Here are some examples of good and bad audio.